name's Kathy. I'm the second daughter, and I'm the only holdout not living in Arizona. I flew in last night from Chicago. I didn't know whether I was going to prepare something or not. Because I'm not sure I can do this. My parents had 5 children. They always said they had 3 separate families. Because my sister was born in 47, I was born in 48. My brother Gene was born in 57. My brother Michael, born in 58. And then Paul, born in 66. I always kidded him, saying that if I was a promiscuous person at 18-year-old, I could be his mother. Because there's 18 years between us. But, you know, with all those different families, you know, and I always teased everybody and I said, yes, my parents had those children, and we have the same mother and father. And they looked at me and they said, that many years? I said, yes. Between me and my brother was my dad's med school. And all came along because Mom was going through the change of life. And Dad said, I'll fix that. Some families say, you know, I was told by my brother, some things are for family. And I think that's one of the things that I wanted to speak of. Everybody talks about dysfunctional families, and we probably all have them. And as I was growing up, being the second child, I found out a lot of different things because of the fact that our mother was the only naturalized citizen in our family. She was born in the Philippines. All of us, including my father, was born here in the United States. My father, although he was born in Pontiac, Michigan, was brought up in the Philippines. My mother, who was born in the Philippines, was raised in California. They met at the CYO in Chicago because my mother left California to come to Chicago to be a concert violinist, which she never was able to do. During the years that I grew up, there were little things that happened where I kept on wondering, was I the cause of her not being able to complete her career? And then I realized Mom chose family, and that was a big part of it. So when I look out amongst all of you who have come to pay tribute to my mother, it means a lot to me. Because as I was brought up, I remember going on the trips to California to be with my cousin. And I remember our photos where we stood age-wise. Thank goodness they didn't do it height-wise, because I'd always be at the end. But they did it by age. And I don't know if everybody remembers those pictures, but they're vivid. And it shows everything, but at the same time, they said, I learned Philippine tradition versus westernized tradition because of my upbringing. I kept on hearing as I was growing up and still being single. You know, no one can get married until the oldest is married. Well, my sister was married. I'm the second eldest. I didn't get married until I was 45. So if my cousins had waited they would have let their loved one go by. So I told them, I said, please don't wait for me. I said, God's plan may be that I remain single. And it happened January of '92, where I said to my friends, please do not try to fix me up anymore. I said, if it's destined to be that I be single, so be it. June of '92, I went to a retirement dinner, and a gentleman that I had known for 12 years, I met again, and he became my husband. And the thing is my mother was instrumental in a lot of the things that my life, the roads that I took, because my family members know that my mom and I didn't always get along. I was always the one who seemed to be on the outs, so to speak, but I always seemed to be the one that Mom needed to be able to take things out on, you know. And as I grew up, it made me a stronger woman. The word that I can say of my mom is she was stoic. She very seldom ever showed her true emotions, what she was feeling. But she was there for you if you reached out. I continued to reach out through my lifetime. And just before my husband passed from the same dreaded disease that my mom did, stage 4 lung cancer, she and my husband became friends. And before my husband, or when my husband passed, my mom came to me and she told me, she said, Larry was the best thing that ever happened to you. And from a mother, she didn't know what that meant to me. And as I look out amongst you too, I was never able to have children. And through the grace of God, I've become a nanny. Started out with one family, and now I have over 20 that I watch. Those parents have entrusted me with their children, and I believe that it's through my mother that it was channeled, because my mother told me to the last day that we talked. I talked to her every morning as I was driving 2 boys to school, and my mom would always ask me, how are the children? You know, she was always looking after other people. And so I would tell her how the kids were, and she said, you would have made a nice mom. And those words I treasure because it came from her heart. And I've become the woman I am because of my mom. And for you, Mom, I love you dearly, and I miss you.
One of Florence's favorite hymns is the song I'm going to sing Under his wings I am safely abiding, though the night deepens and tempests are wild. Still I can trust him, I know he will keep me. He has redeemed me, and I am his child. Under his wings, who from his love concept o'er. Under his wings,
morning. My name is Robert Rodriguez. I'm the son of Josephine Dade Rodriguez, who is the sister of Florence. We fondly used to call her Auntie Flo. My sister, who lives up in Oregon, was unable to attend, but she asked if I could read this letter that she wrote to Auntie Flo. Auntie, over the past few months, I've been thinking about mentors in my life. You came to mind. Growing up, you always remembered to send me birthday cards every year and congratulations on special occasions. I especially remember that the end of the cards you sent often mentioned God and phrases like, "May God bless you," and many others. I remember the correspondence back and forth between us for some time. All that you did from a distance actually impacted the person I have become. The reality of God was presented and ever present before me because you took the time to write to me. You are one person out of a few whom God used to help me become a believer in Him. I just want to say thanks, Auntie. Love, Lisa.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul Guerrero, and the next few segments of this program today might seem a little bit highly emotionally charged, but I felt that they were important. My mother, through going through all of her things over the past several weeks, came across a CD that my deceased brother now, who is closest to me as far as age goes, composed, wrote the music, wrote the lyrics, and it's on the back of your program to follow along, and then you will hear from him. And the one thing that I do know from my mother is that music was a huge part of her life, both with her violin and her own choral singing. And so since this is a celebration of life for her, please feel free to applaud, especially after my brother, his son, is going to play a violin solo, which I believe, it's, I'll speak after them, but this is their time now, so enjoy. La 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 la. Dear mother, I can't help but cry as I write these thoughts from my heart to you. A present wasn't enough to say the things that need to be said, so I'll tell you some of the reasons why I'm glad that you're my mother. Sweet memories of the things you've done spring forth in living color and dance before my watery eyes, so real that I could touch them. Pancake breakfasts in the